Wonderful. At this point, we're ready to take the PVS impression, the final impression. In order to do that, we have to use our custom trays. We've fabricated the custom trays. Before they go into the mouth, I want to pay attention to the fact that we're moving from stone to tissues that have nerves and have cuttable surfaces. So these triad trays are oftentimes sharp enough to hurt the patient and they get uncomfortable. So I'm going to roughen the surface. I'm going to the internal roll there to just make sure that's really smooth because that's about where it touches the tissue. Okay. Everything's got to be just soft enough to go into the body without them detecting that we were even there. PVS will act as a barrier in between the two, but I don't want to risk anything. Triad is a little bit shiny for me on the intaglio. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take it to this air abrasion tank, both of the trays. I'm going to spend a little bit of time just roughening up the surface to increase the surface area for our PVS tray adhesive to really soak in and lock into place. I'll do this to both trays. Notice I'm spending a little bit more time around the periphery. Because there's less surface area, I need to make sure that's maximized. There's way more surface area in the palate than there is on the edge. So I'll roughen that extra well to make sure that adhesive really sticks so the PVS doesn't tear away on that easy to tear away area. This is Kerr's tray adhesive. I don't care whose you use. You do need some tray adhesive. We don't want to have any migration of your impression. Okay, tray adhesive obviously goes on. That's no brainer. And we're ready to go see our patient. So into the clinic we go. Here we go. I'm going to try in my trays, upper. All this work building up to this moment. We've cut the teeth. We've surveyed according to the best idealized situation for our patient. We've made these custom trays ready with PVS tray adhesive to take the impression. Okay, I'm going to use a medium or a light body. Here we're going to fill the tray with a medium body. This you'll be able to see how much the tray is filled. The edentulous areas, I want you to think about the old denture techniques we were using, the full bead around the periphery. Now in the teeth we need a little bit more. Remember we have a little bit more wax relief here. So we'll fill those up pretty good and gooey. Okay. Now, just like we did with the dentures in denture class, in those edentulous areas we do one little layer. We don't have to go overdo it. Okay. Good. Okay, cover the surface here. We're going to do a full bead around the periphery, just to get that 5 millimeters of relief that we created taken care of. And the excess will help push out the sides and we'll be okay. Some of those bubbles have to be expressed by doing our P90X impression, which is pretty aggressive but arbitrary. Here we go. So before we put that in the mouth, we have to prepare the mouth. So I'm setting this up to looks like we're looking in the mouth of the mannequin. So here's what I do. I take the material and I push it forward towards that rest seat. Push the material into that rest seat and then let it, watch this, and we're going to let it fill up that guide plane. Now watch how I do this. Yep, let it fill up the guide plane. This one's a little bit tricky. I'll just fill it up and let the gravity pull it into that guide plane. Fill this up, drag the material forward, push this here and let the gravity just pull it down to run down the guide plane. Same thing here, fill it up, let it roll over down to the guide plane. Same thing. Now this is great, but it's not good enough for me. We're now going to take air and we're going to push that PVS material into those nooks and crannies. Okay, here we go. So just basic air water syringe will push the air. Okay, here we go, a little air. You can see it now wetting the surface better. It's hard to get those distals. It's hard to get the distals. In the mouth it's even harder. Okay. Perfect. Getting that guide plane nice and gooey. Let's get this last surface and as much as we can on the distal. Good. Okay, now we can put the tray in. We just filled up. However, I do want to show you how we do the bottom. We've got basically the same architecture. So before we put the tray in, let's see what we do with the bottom. Okay. Oh, yep, let the material lead. Okay. Little little retention area we put on. Let the material lead us. Great, let it roll down the guide plane. And there's a little guide plane I'll let it roll down on. Perfect. Slump into place in. Now we're ready to put the tray in. Oh, nope, we need to do the same thing. We need to put the air. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. We need to take the air water syringe, put it into the mouth, and we'll put just a nice continual blast of air. There we go. We can see it really wetting the surface now. There's going to be no pulls. Get the distal as much as we can. I really want to get into this area because we could easily trap a bubble between those two. Good, get into that that retentive area. Now we're ready for the tray. Once I get the tray in place, I'm really going to smear it. That's going to, here we go, watch this. Tray goes in our custom tray with the PVS. Into the patient's mouth. Uvula's eye view. Okay, a lot of smearing. Let's see if I can do it. There we go. Really coat that surface good. Now we'll do the same thing with the bottom tray. Just put it in place and you're done.